ladies and gentlemen. Scientists have discovered the 5 stages to falling off your diet plan and how to get back on. Stay tuned, we'll have the answers for you right after these words from our sponsors. Okay, what the heck is wrong with you, Scale? Like, your battery's dead? I think the batteries are dead. Yeah, this can't be right. Huh. Oh, good God. Oh, no. Babe. I think the dryer's broken. We gotta call somebody out to repair it. Everything has shrunk. Oh my God. Circulation. Out of breath. What is your problem? Why can't you get this together? You are better than this. You are so much better than this. You can't resist a cupcake every once in a while. Cookies come around every day of the year. Get it together. Okay, dear diary. I have to confess, I don't like the way things are going, so I'm gonna make you a deal. Only to you. Don't tell anybody. I will never eat any cupcakes ever again. And I will never eat cake, and I will never look at pasta again. Yeah, pasta, good. And I will do all these things if you let me please fit into a size 8 jean.
Do you want to go to the movies?
I don't want to go anywhere. I'm not fit. I'm not pretty. You'll just be embarrassed of me. Okay, time to face facts. I guess I've let it go a little bit. My goals have gotten a little bit off track, so. All right, time to make some changes. Let's do it. Yeah, let's go. All right, I hope you all enjoyed that extra cinematic approach to the 5 stages of getting off track with your diet and exercise plan. Anyway, it wouldn't be a good video if I didn't actually show you what to do on the opposite side of it. So just to let you know, these are all just things that I've done over the years. Some may work for you, some may not. You're gonna have to tailor it and tweak it to what works best for you. The key bullet point is that you wanna make this a lifestyle. So doing everything that somebody else does just because they said it works for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you. I want you to find what's going to be good, that you can fit into your daily life, that's going to make it feasible for a lifetime result. So with that being said, stay tuned. We'll be back with the rest of this video. Hey, while you're waiting for me to come back with the rest of the video, I'm going to ask you a favor to leave a comment below and tell me which one of the emotions, the 5 stages that you identify with the most, or which one you've gone through repeatedly, I guess. All right, welcome back. So what I wanted to do, this is a 2-part video series, and I hope that you'll watch both parts. But I kind of wanted to give you some stuff. Some of it's going to sound like it's new agey advice, and maybe it is, however you want to look at it. But really, what it boils down to is some baseline things that you need to get set up in your life, basically. And these are just like good habits to develop. And then as we go into the second video, you're going to see more of the, I guess I say meat and potatoes, even though I don't eat potatoes, but you get the point. So the first thing that I always tell people to do, and this is something I learned a long time ago, and it has been huge for my growth in every different area of my life. But you have to find your why. Why is it you want to get into shape or eat right or fill in the blank, get a promotion at work? If you don't have a really, really good long-lasting reason why, it'll be easy to talk yourself out of it. It'll be easy for you to make exceptions like, oh, I'll just go ahead and have that piece of cake, or not show up to work extra early to make the boss notice me, whatever it is. If you don't find something that's very substantial, you won't stick with it. So for example, and your why can be, it's your why. It doesn't have to fit anybody else's idea or theme or whatever. It has got to be important to you and you only. So when it comes to eating right, your why is the core proof of what it is you want to accomplish. And I'm going to give you the example of this. At one point when I wanted to lose weight, I didn't even think of all the things that surrounded it. It was just this very vague, generic thought of, I just want to be skinny. I just want to be thin, whatever. I say whatever a lot. I hope you like it. Anyway, so I wanted just to lose weight, end of story. As I started to develop into the why of things, I realized that my why was I did not want to get to be 60, 70, 80 years old and not be able to walk up a set of stairs or be able to catch my breath or, be always having to be at home and never being able to go out because my health had deteriorated so badly. And so when that became my why, that became my purpose. That became the driving force behind why I was going to fill in the blank, like I said, go eat the right food and exercise and so on. And as time goes on, your why might change a little bit. Like it'll still be that core belief system that you had, but you'll build on it. And now your why might be, okay, I want to go on a cruise and I want to be able to go on all the excursions and enjoy all the way along. So all that to say, if you don't have a very powerful why, the goal is probably not going to come to fruition for you because you don't have something that's a fire burning within you, inside of you. Potato. Again, there's potatoes again. No. The next step that I really believe is important is you have to decide what plan you're going to follow. And that sounds really cliche, actually. It sounds like, okay, I have to follow this particular diet plan. And I kind of like to get people out of that mindset because if you look at it as just a diet, just to follow for 3 months and that's it or whatever, you're probably not going to stick with it and it's probably not going to be a lifetime. However, if that gets you started, by all means. But what I really encourage people to do is do some research, obviously based on the name of this channel. Those who know me, keto is my passion. I would never have guessed if you'd asked me a couple of years ago that this would be what I'd be speaking so passionately about. But for me, keto works. I feel great. The results are there. And there's so many more benefits than just weight loss. I mean, I say the mental function is really good, but I keep saying the same words over and over again. So you tell me. Anyway, for me, that's what works and that's what I like. But that's not going to be for everybody. And I understand that. I'm not going to preach at you and tell you that my way is the best way. That being said, you do need to figure out what's going to work best for you, what you can make into your daily life that's going to be feasible, that's going to be something that you enjoy long term, and that you can actually still live a somewhat normal life. I can tell you as somebody who has been on the yo-yo diet cycle for a lot of years of my life, that there's been many times where I have been on an eating plan that was so restrictive, I felt miserable all the time. And when my husband and I would go out for a date, I didn't know what I could eat. I was miserable. I stuck to having a cup of black coffee or, everything on the side and no sauces or dressings or whatever it was. And it felt miserable. And at one point I finally realized this is not the way I want to live my life. I am missing out on the good portions of my life by being so restrictive on everything. However, some people, being super restrictive works, and that's okay as well. The third thing I would say is we're going to talk about starting small. And when I say start small, I don't mean don't make any steps forward or, avoid it for a couple of weeks. I mean, pick one thing that you're going to get great at and you're going to build upon it. If you try to take on the entire flipping around of your life and change every, I won't say bad habit, but every habit that you want to change, if you're trying to change it all at once, you are not going to succeed. I'm sorry to be such a Debbie Downer. It's just the reality. Our brains can only handle so much at one time, and trying to develop a really, really good habit, it's going to take some building. And so what I recommend to people is pick something like, look, my water intake's not very great. So I'm going to start by drinking 80 ounces of water every single day. And I'm going to do it for 3 weeks or a week or whatever it is. And then as you build on that, it really will just become a habit to where you don't have to think about it. You don't have to remind yourself about it. And it's going to build to other habits that you want to incorporate. So maybe in the second week you say, okay, I've already been drinking my water. my 80 ounces of water every single day. Now I'm going to add in a 20-minute walk 5 days a week, and you build on that. You can make your goals whatever you want, whatever's going to suit you, but I please, I encourage you not to try to change everything all at once. That's how you end up back underneath the covers saying that going to the movies is only for fit people and you're too depressed to do it. So that's my recommendation there. Start small. All right, so when it comes to having a good plan, part of any good plan is to have a good meal plan. Now, this doesn't mean you have to spend hours and hours doing meal prep. And I will be honest with you, for me, prepping an entire week's worth of meals has never been super successful. I can say in all the years that I've been doing this, I've probably done that 10 to 15 times. And the majority of those times were when I was in contest prep for a bodybuilding competition. The biggest reason I don't think I like meal prep in that particular way is that I like to eat fresh food. I can change my mind from day to day about what I want to eat. And if I made myself a bunch of chicken breast for the entire week and by Wednesday I'm not in the mood for chicken breast, well, what am I supposed to do? So for me, it hasn't worked as successfully, but for most people it does. The idea behind a good meal prep is that you come up with a couple of dishes that you make in bulk. So it could be 20 chicken breasts or a bunch of sirloin or whatever it is, and then you portion it out for all your meals through the week. If that works for you and it keeps it super simple, awesome. And if you're not really comfortable with how to do it or you're not quite sure, there are meal prep courses out there. There's free meal prep blogs on Pinterest and so on. Pardon me. For me, I like to just plan out 5 or 6 of the meals I'm going to be having for dinner. And the reason I say dinner is because dinner is the meal that I pay the most attention to because my husband and I eat dinner together. A lot of times throughout the week, based on our schedules, we're on our own for breakfast, lunch. Sometimes I fast throughout the day and then my first meal is dinner. So those are what I put my most focus on. So I plan out 5 or 6 dinners. I don't know which day I'm going to be cooking each dinner on, and that's okay because like I said, my mood might change. All I'm trying to get at is that you want to make sure that you have a plan in place for what you're going to be eating throughout the week. Without a plan in place, it is very easy to go off of track and decide to just order in or go out to eat, and you're not tracking your macros, you're not tracking anything, and it does fall apart pretty quickly. So find yourself a meal plan, find something that works for you, recipes that are quick, easy, unless you're somebody who loves to spend time in the kitchen. Find yourself some great, easy recipes that you're going to want to repeat, that you're going to love the taste of. And ideally, especially if you have a family, as often as you can, try to find something that the whole family can enjoy that still falls into your guidelines. I hope that helps when it comes to meal prep. If you have any other questions about meal prep, I can give you a lot more detail and a lot more insight on it. Leave me a comment below if you're interested in more meal prep ideas that I can help you. As part of our video, we're going to just talk about something that's not nearly as fun as it should be, and it's tracking. Making sure that you are tracking your macros. And I know that is not sexy at all. Nobody wants to have to track every morsel of what they're eating. It's not very fun. But I can tell you this, it is going to yield you much better results than you would get without tracking. The reason for it is because it is very easy for us to convince ourselves that we're eating more than we are, or eating the proper concentration of particular macronutrients. So thinking we're getting enough fat or too much fat or whatever it is, if you are leaving the guesswork up to yourself, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be wrong. Like I said, I keep using the peanut butter example. I love peanut butter. I can tell you that 2 tablespoons looks a lot like a quarter of a cup. And that's why I track my macros, okay? So get good at tracking your macros. Invest in a food scale if you haven't done so already. I know this sounds like a lot, guys, but I promise you, you will see the results. Also, when you're tracking, you feel a better sense of accountability to what you're doing and what your overall goal is. And that's going to keep you feeling more on track, even if the scale's not budging, even if the measurements haven't moved in a couple of days. You are going to feel so much better because you are actively doing something to work towards your goal. With that being said, I highly recommend getting yourself an accountability buddy. And that's a fun word to say. I believe it was on an episode of South Park years and years ago. It's a funny word, but it's awesome and it's true. Having somebody who's a good accountability buddy, see, I can't even say it without saying accountability buddy, but having an accountability partner is crucial, I think. Yes, you can do this alone, but it's so much easier when you have a team behind you. The idea would be finding somebody who's going to hold you accountable without smashing your face in your failures if you messed up along the way, that they're going to still encourage you. But on the flip side, not having somebody that's going to be like, it's okay, just have one bite of the cake. What's one bite going to hurt you? It's okay, just gorge today. Tomorrow's a new day. You want to have a good, healthy balance. A lot of times my accountability buddy is my sister. And even if, we're going different directions as far as our goals are, she's still very good about going, okay, you can do this. Keep going, keep moving that direction, or hey, you probably shouldn't have done that. Let's move forward. I think it's so important. Plus, it's nice to have a team on your side. So track your macros. Again, you're not gonna have to do that for the rest of your life. Eventually, your body will get pretty used to what each measurement of food is, and you'll be able to intuitively eat. But early on, track your macros. Find yourself a good macro calculator online. There's several of them. And find a good accountability buddy. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. There's another video that's going to follow this in a little while, and it's going to be a little bit more in-depth on some other tips and tricks that I follow that have been very successful for me. So I hope you've liked this video. I hope you're loving the channel and the content. Please feel free to comment below with any questions, commentary, funny jokes, whatever you want to do. And I can't wait to see you on our next video. Thanks. Have a good one.